let's have a little edition of Tape Talk. So today's Tape Talk is going to be our good friend Troy Pikes, who is the latest commit to South Carolina, who's going to help boost the South Carolina defensive line. This kid is going to be a monster. Now, when you look at this kid's tape from high school, there's not really a whole lot much you're going to see that is D1 worthy. But I'll show you 247 Sports' evaluation of him, and then we'll get into the tape. So this is him at Georgia Southern whenever he was there. 6'3", 290 pounds. So he put South Carolina over Ohio State and over Georgia and Georgia Tech. And I figured it was very interesting that within 12 days, he was already a South Carolina Gamecock. A top 200 defensive lineman in the nation. Nothing really too serious. At Mays High School, was only a 2-star guy, a top 200 player in the state of Georgia. 247 had him, the composite had him at a 3-star, but overall a 2-star player. Had only a few small school offers, but ultimately decided to end up at Georgia State. But, guys, stats can be deceiving at the end of the day. He only had 13 tackles and a half a tackle for loss this past year at Georgia Southern. But, guys, let me remind you that a guy like Shamar Stewart was in this similar predicament. Shamar Stewart didn't have a lot of stat production at Texas A&M. But when you look at the kid's frame and when you really turn on the tape, this kid is a disruptor in the middle. Shamar Stewart was the same, and I think Troy Pikes is going to bring the same thing. Let's watch his film. He's going to play in the middle. Good extension on the freaking pull. That's probably one that you're going to see. Explosive. Boom. Extension right there. We're going to fight off the pull that we try to get reached on. Be right there in the middle of the field. And we're going to get a formed tackle. That was very, very impressive. Nobody blocking. Now, I will say on this one, this is me nitpicking a little bit. What if this Q pulls? Who do we have blocking? Let's look at the edge. Because our edge is going backer. We have just this cornerback that's isolated. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a free at the top. So you've got the free and you've got the corner. So I would like for this defensive end to squeeze down and watch Q. I would like for our defensive tackles to do that as well. But look at the chase down that he has on a running back of all things. Very impressive. Good ball get off on the center. We're going to explode. Dude, I mean, there's just so much power when I look at Troy Pikes. Troy Pikes is a man in the middle of a defense. And it is impressive to me the type of athlete that he can be. Guys, Troy Pikes is a really dominant defensive lineman. On the goal line. See, it's about low man winning. Don't go too low. Or else that's going to happen. Right through the middle because of his get off. Guys, Troy Pikes, in my opinion, I don't know how much reps he'll get with this defensive line group because of how deep you are up front. But I do think he's going to take advantage of his reps. We could be having a hard call. Gets low. He's got good technique. I like him when he uses his hands. That's what you want to do as a defensive lineman. You want to keep your hands active. You never give up on a play, and you keep using your hands. That's one of the most important things that you could do as a defensive lineman. All right, we're in Cougar. Now, Cougar is 3-man. Bear is 5-man, I believe. Arm over. Good ball recognition. Very good ball recognition. I think they're playing Valdosta. Yeah. They're playing Valdosta. Dude, if y'all don't know about Valdosta High School, guys, Valdosta is a freaking powerhouse of a program. Valdosta is one of the best programs in all of high school football in the state of Georgia. And he does really well on him. By the way, that's a North Carolina State commit, number 50. I don't remember his name, but they had a Netflix series called Titletown High. And I remember Pike, or P, or his name started with a P, bottom line. But this is explosive. Coming from Troy Pikes. Nice chase down. Dude. This is a freaking defensive lineman's dream. When you get knocked, when you are lined up head on a center, and you come off the football with so much force, you knock a center's ass into the freaking quarterback's face. That's incredible technique. That is incredible what he brings to the table. Good push-pull. That was an aggressive push-pull. I like that. Absolutely like that from Troy Pike. Valdosta film's going to get you look, bro. Working on the defensive lineman. Or on the offensive lineman, I should say. And around. Good. Again, one little nitpick I will say is that I need to contain, bro. Be as deep as back and don't get beat up the field. All right. Number one thing I've seen throughout this tape talk is ball get off. The one thing that I've seen that has been lacking from some of these guys that I've evaluated is their get off. Troy Pike has the most aggressive get off that I have seen all tape talk. And because of that, you talk about a kid with a lot of upside. Guys, I'm shocked that he was only a 2-star freaking defensive lineman. A 2-star defensive lineman. Somebody make that make sense to me. Because it just straight up doesn't. Troy Pike has the most upside that I've seen from this interior group. I think he'll probably get the starting nod between him and Gabe Brownlow Dindy. Good. There we go. There's the squeeze. Boom. We get a base block. We're going to push our guy 1 yard back across the line of scrimmage. Recognize ball. And we're going to get into the backfield. That's a great play to end off this Tate talk. Guys, Troy Pikes has a lot of upside. And I think he's going to be one of your more talented defensive linemen that you have in that room.